It's another Monday, and Jeff and I were literally just joking about how, you know what, we've been bootstrapping since the day that we began, and when we started this podcast, the one investment that we made was this microphone, and I guess we're up to, how many? Is it 40?
43, this is 43.
This is 43, and literally we were joking about how you can kind of see the ring light and the reflection, and the long story short, this is going to be the last podcast in this position. We're going to reconfigure, and we're going to move on up like the Jeffersons, but hey, it's a great example of work with what you have. Anyway, that's not my topic. It just kind of got me a little ranting. My topic, and you know, I always time my podcast to be 15 minutes. This might run a little bit longer. I like to be, because I can be a chatty girl, so I have to set a time limit on myself. But with this one, I said to Jeff, I can't, because I'm so passionate about it, and I promise I'm not going to ramble endlessly. I do have my notes so I can stay on point, but it's just really important to me to talk about why we love the modeling industry, why it's great, why I don't understand I don't like when it gets a bad rap. I feel protective of it, and I'll explain a little bit about that, but first I have to show off my hoodie. Jeff got a gift from the establishment. Anita Bitton and Calvin Wilson have been friends of ours forever. Calvin's been coming to show support to us we weren't even married yet, a long time. And Anita was one of the first casting directors to really have our back, and we have great relationships with many, but I just wanted to acknowledge and represent. Thank you for the gift that ended up being my gift. Sorry, honey. And it's just one other thing of, we love the modeling industry, with all of its imperfections. We love that there's been great things that have recently unfolded between the CFDA, Me Too, the Model Alliance. I know that it's good that people are saying this could be better and that could be better, and have people speak up if they feel that something is not right. I'm totally supportive of that. We've been very vocal about it. We were honored to be included in the article in the last September issue of American Vogue about the importance of 18 and really protecting the person who is the aspiring model or the model. All super valuable. On the other side of it, you know, we're in the trenches where we may scout somebody who lives in Kentucky and doesn't know who the big fashion people are, or grew up on a farm and this is all new territory. Again, we're in a very unique position that we are very connected to the fashion world and love, those are our people. Like, one of the most fun things about Fashion Week for us is not necessarily the shows, although the shows are great. It's backstage, seeing our photographer friends, the creative teams behind them, the casting directors, the people that make this world happen. The backstage is so awesome. And then seeing up close and personal the collections of the top designers in the world, it never goes unappreciated that we get to be there and be up close and personal, and it's wonderful. And the people are from all different walks of life and all different cultures, and they're creative, and we always joke that we're just a bunch of misfits that in this world fit. And then also every model that we've ever worked with from every walk of life. I have to say that when models walk away from the industry, which is totally fine, this industry is not for everyone, or people start bashing it or looking for the negative, and what you look for you find. Years ago, there was a Nightline story that we were involved with that we were so devastated and hurt by afterwards, because we're like, no, we're not those people. Don't put us in a group of what's not good. And by no means am I saying that we are perfect or anything, but I will say this, that from day one, for almost 25 years now, we have seen this in a light that we're super passionate about. Otherwise, we could not still be doing it. Quite frankly, because it's hard. It's hard. It's a hard business. It's a tough business, but it's also an incredibly inspiring, wonderful thing. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I would love to collect this information somehow for every model that we've had, whether they went off to huge success or not, or they traveled and experienced some things. I know they learn about themselves, about the world, about fashion, about business, about what it is to interact with people from all different cultures, to be in an industry that is global and important, and it's valuable. And when it's diminished, it hurts my soul, because I've seen it impact so many people's lives in such tremendous ways. So I want to speak on that a little bit. I think it's important because as young people make decisions about what they're going to do with their lives, or parents are assessing things, I want to be the voice that says this industry can be incredible, that the modeling world, in the best of ways, when you choose to be with great people and hold to a standard and really make the most of the wonderful opportunity instead of being critical, it's incredible. I love it. And I love, with every new person that sits across this desk from me, and we have a conversation about what this can look like in their life, I love when they're brave enough to go, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna grow. Just last week we saw, or it was earlier this week, I'm in such a fog, we were just recently in New York, and seeing the impact of what a career can do to somebody's life, to put them in a new city, in new circles. And then yesterday, one of our dear models, who is a huge success story, I'm going to share a little bit about her towards the end, Katie Fogarty, shared a beautiful post in appreciation for what modeling did for her. And it couldn't have been more perfect timing, because I was already thinking about this topic and wanting to share. Okay, I'm going to dig right in and just share a little bit about even the reality of how did I end up that my lot in life is looking for beauty in people. I don't know. I just kept following it. It kept growing and evolving. And as I saw exterior beauty in people, it then opened my eyes even broader to the interior beauty of people, not just of the models that we scout, but the kids that come into open call and they're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and excited, or maybe they're nervous and they have hives all over their chest, and I'm just proud that they even came in. Or I've seen it impact families. Our models who've had successful careers literally, oh my gosh, my eyes are getting teary. I've seen it literally change their families' lives. I've seen the ripple effect of travel, seeing the world both theoretically or just through the eyes of their child. I've seen mothers become reunited with their desire to take care of themselves and be aware of fashion and feel pretty and just feel excited. And that's so cool. We've seen families who, we had a model years ago who's still in our life, and we absolutely love him and his family, Michael Hope. I see that we were able to see his mother and father travel to Paris before his father lost his battle with cancer, and they got to experience really wonderful things that will be with them for the rest of their lives. And it wouldn't have happened if we weren't at the mall one day and went up to him. And our discovery of Michael Hope led to our discovery of Karlie Kloss. I look at the life that she has, and years ago somebody told me and I love this theory of our lives as a garden, and how for every life in 25 years to one degree or another who've experienced this ride with us, that whether they come or they go or they're there with us. Last week we got to be with Myla Dalbesio in New York City for her first collaboration with Prima Donna, and to know she's been with us for 13 years, and she lives in the city that she loves and met her incredible husband and is experiencing all these things and is just for the third time in Sports Illustrated and going, that's part of our garden. That is part of our garden. Or years ago when Kutcher still had his production company Catalyst, and I remember Jeff and I went up to visit him, and Ashton is forever loyal, grateful. We'll talk about that modeling started it all, period. Modeling started it all. And to have some of his team that sat with us, I'll never forget them looking at us going, they looked at me and said, thank you for discovering him, because of you, he ended up here, and now we're experiencing this. And even though that has technically nothing to do with us, but it's in our garden. That's part of our garden, and that is just a really exciting thing. We decided a long time ago to navigate with heart, and even if we lost sometimes, that's okay. We would rather navigate in this business the way that we do. We're unapologetic about the modeling business. It's not just that you're looking for pretty people. It's interesting people with something to give to the world, who now have a platform through social media and beyond. And what can that be? And what are the limitations? Because there really are none. And yes, part of being a model is being in great shape and taking great care of yourself. It's part of the job. It's no different than the expectation of an athlete. That part of the job, you're getting paid very well to be a model, to have an image, to project something. And part of that is the care of yourself to inspire other people also. I don't think that's a bad thing. The only time it's a bad thing is if somebody gets off balance and they're doing it in an unhealthy way. But that is the truth, whether you are a student, a model, an athlete, nurse, that's just the truth. It's not just the truth within the modeling world. Sometimes I've seen big models who will walk away and kind of foo-foo or downplay or be critical of the modeling industry. And again, I'm not saying it's perfect, far from it, but I will say you wouldn't be living where you live or experiencing what you've experienced more than likely without it. And so it's pretty spectacular. It's pretty incredible. I also love that modeling is a level playing field. You can't buy your way into it. Parents can't say, I'm going to throw $15,000 at this to make you be a successful model. You have to work for it, and you have to commit, and you have to be all in. And isn't that really awesome? Because years ago I heard there was a father who, when we were still living in Iowa, came and his daughter had experienced some international travel, and I remember him very distinctly. It stuck with me now for 25 years that he said that his daughter experienced accelerated maturity because of the travel, the interacting with adults, being professional, showing up to work, to have a good work ethic, to have the self-discipline that is required in order to do well with this. And I just think, how fantastic is that? I think it's really great. I'm gonna list a few models who've done really amazing things. I think for me, growing up, when I was still in Iowa, Cindy Crawford was who I looked up to as a young woman of, look where modeling can take you. I think it was foundational to keep me inspired about what that is. And I remember early on in traveling into New York, back in the day when Jeff and I would actually like go to a club. We don't really do that. I mean, sometimes, but not really. And Mark Wahlberg was at this event, and we were there with one of our models, Morgan, and I remember I was so excited because I loved Mark and the Funky Bunch. Like, that was my jam. So I was excited, and here I was, this woman from Iowa, couldn't wait to go up to say hi to Marky Mark. I made the mistake of referring to him as Marky Mark, and he made it clear that that was not okay with him, but I was like, dude, that's how you started. You can't diminish what led you there. It opened the door to now the other doors. The dream led to other dreams. That's why I love telling our mother model star stories. The dream can lead to other dreams, and that's a really fantastic thing. Here's some of the acclaimed people in our business, our world, that started as models. Charlize Theron. I mean, what a spectacular actress. Jennifer Lawrence was a model. January Jones, Cameron Diaz, Robert Pattinson, Uma Thurman, Gina Davis started as a model, and now I look at the amazing thing that she has done. She started a film festival in Bentonville, and she also has the platform where she speaks about promoting diversity in the entertainment industry and really elevating women, which is incredible. Christy Turlington has used her platform and her success to create Every Mother Counts. I went to their website just to have the clarity of how it started. It says 300,000 women die around the world as a result of complications in pregnancy and childbirth every year, and Every Mother Counts is working to make a difference. Ashton Kutcher, from the minute I met him, told me that he wanted to act. His modeling career was short. It wasn't even quite a year. Then he did some modeling things in the early days of that 70s show, but look at the investments that he's made, the amount of money that he has donated and done wonderful things with. And then in 2012, he co-founded Thorn, which combats sex trafficking. And that began with starting as a model. Karlie and doing Code with Kloss. These things are really incredible. And the foundation was the opportunity that the modeling world gave them. So one of our former models, very successful for probably 6 or 7 years, I can't remember. Wouldn't you say that, Jeffy? Maybe about that time. Katie Fogarty did major campaigns, Vogue covers, fragrances. She was in that same time when Karlie was walking 60 shows a season. Katie Fogarty was right there alongside of her. And I watched Katie really thrive in that world, although she knew it wasn't the end game for her. I always love to share her story because Katie was able to take the money that she earned because she had a very successful career, and pay for her education at NYU. And the value of that is amazing. She still lives in New York. She just made this beautiful post on Instagram from a Balenciaga campaign that she did, and talked about how much that impacted her life and how it's continuing to impact it in different ways. And I was so thankful that she took the time to share that, because I know it's true. And this industry provides great opportunity, great resource, great relationships, and it opens your eyes to the world, and that's really, really valuable. Lastly, I think what's beautiful about this business is that when you're in it long enough, you know the stories of different models and how they got their start, or how things unfolded, and you see people in the trenches that are the behind the scene ones, like us, and you know what it takes for scouts, agents, managers, everybody in between to make it happen for somebody. It takes a village. And a few weeks back, Russell Wilson signed, how big of a major deal, Jeffy? I don't know. He's an offensive lineman. Is that right? No, he's not an offensive lineman. He's the quarterback. Russell Wilson is the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. I know you guys know how he is. I got confused because in my notes I wrote offensive lineman. Because here's what I love that he did. When he signed this major deal, he gifted stock to his offensive linemen, the people that have his back. And he said, you've invested in my life, so this is my investment in yours. And I loved that, because here's what I can say. The thing that we're most proud of is that we've invested in people's lives with our time, our energy, our expertise, travel, all of it. And so when people bash or get too hypercritical about the modeling world, I just have to speak up and say, you know what? If you really trace it all back and you look at all the pieces of this beautiful puzzle and how many models have gone on to do amazing things, I think that as me, Mary Clark, I just have to say, it's an amazing opportunity. And if you have the opportunity to experience what these young people do, you just have to go for it. And every parent out there that questions, is this good, and is it something that I should encourage my child with the right people and the right team? Yes, it's an absolute game-changing, awesome thing. And that's all. I just wanted to shout from the mountaintop that I think the modeling industry is pretty freaking awesome. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you again next Monday. Have a great day.